Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be making some candles, showing you guys how I make candles, as well as labeling some candles. So, as many of you know, I just rolled out my fall candle collection. Yay! I've worked so hard on it, guys, and I'm just so proud of myself for getting everything completed. Well, most of everything completed. I at least got all of my new scents out on my website. So go check out my website, westnovelties.com, and look at my new fall scents and see if anything strikes your fancy. So we're gonna be making birthday batter today. Now, recently, I just discovered a more efficient way to make these candles. So I can actually make 3 of my large candles and 2 of my mini candles at once. So let me show you guys how I do this. So instead of measuring out 1 pound and 5 ounces of wax, I now measure out, and my scale has been acting weird lately. So if you guys hear anything, it's just the water boiling. I boil 2 saucepans full of water so I can clean out my pitchers really quickly. So if you hear that, that's what that is. Also, I live really close to an airport and there's just planes going out all day long. So bear with me, guys. I'm not gonna be in this apartment forever. There also might be a train that comes by, but we're gonna get this video done one way or another. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna be measuring out 1 pound and 10 ounces of wax. Also, before I get any more ahead of myself, I wanna give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you guys so much for your support over there on Patreon. If you want to get to know me on a much more intimate level, definitely check out my Patreon, guys. There's tons to learn about me, tons. I'd like to take a moment and say thank you to all of you who stayed up last night until midnight and waited for my fall candle collection launch. Guys, I love you and I really appreciate you, so thank you so much. The support is overwhelming and I am speechless. I don't even know what to say other than thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't know what I would do without you guys. I just was reminded about this. The house that I was looking at, the house that I toured in my previous video, guys, it dropped to $20,000 in asking price. So the odds are working in my favor, and as long as we can get that price to keep dropping, then I'm gonna be in that house. But I'm gonna be in that house one way or another, so you guys can hold me to that. I just wanted to let you know that good things are happening. There's good energy in the air. I feel it. Happy fall, y'all, because today is the first day of fall, and I'm feeling great, and I hope you are too. I don't know what that was. Okay, now let's measure out some fragrance. I was up super late last night, guys, like later than I've stayed up in a really long time, so I hope I don't look too tired or like groggy. I feel great. I was just in here making candles, just, you know, pouring all this wax and labeling, all that jazz. This is fun. This is my passion. I love what I do. And I hope that you guys can see that I put love and energy and just everything I have into making my candles. So every time you buy a candle from me and light it up, that's lighting up a piece of me, a piece of my energy, a piece of my love. So hopefully that doesn't sound too corny. So I believe I took Lucky on a really nice walk this morning, so he's out cold. But yeah, guys, I hope you are having a great start to your fall season. I gotta go grab my notebook real quick. Yes, it's fall, guys. It is fall, finally. It honestly felt like it dragged on a little bit. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It just felt like, when is fall gonna be here, you know? I had a great summer, but it was more of a summer of introspection and just working and building myself to be a better man. And I truly feel like I am a better man than I was when the summer began. Hey, that's a little poem. All right, right here. So 2.6 ounces of fragrance. I've gotten really good at it to the point where I don't need the little pipettes anymore. I can just pour it freehandedly. 2.6 on the dot, baby. Okay. So I'm gonna set this aside. Now I have some candles that I need to label, so let me show you guys how I do that. So I did start using a different kind of soy wax. It actually has a higher melting point because you guys know I live in Arizona, so anything that can help and prevent candles from melting, I'm all in it. So as you can see right here, the candles don't dry smoothly like they did with the other wax that I was using prior to this. So what I do now is I'll take my heat gun and I'll just melt the top layer of wax so it dries nice and smoothly and the candles look nice and flat on top. So I can show you guys a little bit of that, but it's not the most interesting thing to watch. It just adds a little bit more time to the candle making process, but I'm okay with that as long as it's helping me in the long run and helping you guys to ensure that you get a quality product each and every time, no matter how hot it is outside. Because in Arizona, it might be fall, but guys, it's still 100 degrees outside most days, so you gotta take preventative measures if you're a candle cobbler like me. You don't want a limp wick, you know, so that's why you gotta keep the wick holder on top of it while I'm melting it, because just like I said, you don't want the wick to become a limp wick and, you know, lose its shape. I'm trying to be more punny, okay? Okay, so just like that. See how I just melted the top layer? You can't really see it that well. But I just melt the top layer, and sometimes all it takes is one time, but most times I have to go back and melt some air bubbles down and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'll touch base in a second. These are my pumpkin iced coffee scents, if you guys were curious. Nothing spells fall more like a pumpkin spice latte, am I right? I knew it would be a good scent to pick. Okay, so here's an example of one that dried pretty smooth on top. Now, as you can see, there's some wax right here on the edge, so I'm still gonna melt the first layer of wax off of this just to kind of clean it up a little bit. But this is what it looks like when the odds are in my favor. I love these mini candles too. They look so great and they're honestly the perfect size. They last a long time too. I also like to turn my AC all the way down to 68 while I'm doing this because it helps the candles solidify quicker. When I'm doing things like this, I don't have to wait extra long. So it's a little chilly in here right now. But guys, I wanted to say something too that really caught me off guard, just really made me blush and feel like things are working out for me. So I didn't tell you guys this, but I did meet somebody at that camping event, that men's only camping event that I attended this past weekend. And I'm not gonna say too much about it, but we spent a good amount of time with each other, and I woke up this morning with a notification on my phone, and it was an order that was placed on my website for my fall candle collection bundle, and guess who it was from? That guy. So I felt like, oh my gosh, that is so sweet. I didn't even tell him, like, I'm launching. Actually, yes, I did. I did tell him. But I wasn't expecting him to, you know, take the initiative and actually purchase the bundle from me. So I thought that was really sweet, and I wanted to let you guys know that I am potentially talking to somebody, but that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna jinx anything. I need boundaries. I need to establish boundaries. So, yes. I am happy though. I'm feeling really happy. I'm feeling like all of the hard work that I've been putting into working on myself and improving myself, it's really starting to pay off, and I just feel a lot of good karma in the air. And if you guys have been struggling with being motivated for life or getting out of bed in the morning, even just little things like that, step out of your comfort zone and start pushing yourself to do the things that don't give you immediate satisfaction. Because that's what I've been doing, and guys, it's honestly the best decision I've made to just live outside of my comfort zone, not do things that I want to do, but do things that I know I need to do. So that's my little advice for the day. And doing so, it's not gonna pay off immediately. You're not gonna get that instant gratification, but you're gonna get a huge amount of gratification if you just put in the time and you're patient. I know that's super broad, but I'm sure you guys can implement that into your lives in some way. Okay, so see right here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a little bit of an air bubble forming. So I like to melt that down before it even forms. It's just from trapped air inside of the wax. Here's a better view. You can kind of see right there, there's like 3 little air bubbles right by the wick. See? I do have a lot planned for the fall season on YouTube, so if you guys have any suggestions of things you want me to do or create, definitely let me know in the comment section. But so far, I want to create Halloween costumes again. If you guys don't know, I did that last year and I had a lot of fun. Also, I got tons of compliments on my Peter Pan costume, so I would love to do something homemade like that again. Also, I really like baking, so I'm gonna be doing some Halloween spooky treats, you know, something fun like that. I would also like to do another Halloween live stream. So Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. It's not my favorite, but definitely one of my favorites. So I like to go all out and yeah, stay tuned because I will be doing a live stream on Halloween. I would also like to do some pumpkin carving. It was a little bit of a fail last year because I tried to freehand a pumpkin carving, but you know, this year I'll try to stick to a stencil and really put my time and effort into something, so I think that would be fun. But yeah, guys, let me know if you have any suggestions of festive Halloween fall videos you'd like me to create. Have you guys ever heard the song Make It Happen by Mariah Carey? I know. Most of you have probably already heard that song before I was even a thought on this planet, but for some reason, I am really loving that song lately. I came across it by accident and it just has such good energy and good vibes and it can really lift you up, especially in the mornings. So check out Make It Happen by Mariah Carey if you don't know what I'm talking about, and then get back to me on your opinion of it. Okay, so this is 196. We're waiting for 196. 189, okay. I did see a couple comments on my previous video kind of saying that I wasn't showing enough of that event, but guys, I really need to set boundaries for myself. I need to keep some things for myself to enjoy, you know? I really enjoy showing all of my life to you and just kind of the life lessons that I've learned and the trials and tribulations, but there are some things I want to keep for myself, and I also didn't want to be shoving my phone in everybody's face and asking everybody if they're okay to be on my YouTube channel, because it just starts to make people feel a little bit uncomfortable, and I don't want to be known as the guy that's always recording, so that's why I didn't show too much of the camping event. But trust me guys, it was wild, it was crazy, it was definitely a time to remember. So yes, I went a little bit too hard on the first night, but not too hard, just almost a little bit too hard. I was just so happy to see everybody and be around everybody, because the older you get, the more you realize it's harder to get everybody together because everybody's so booked and busy all the time. Everybody's got a life and obligations. So events like that where everybody really is together, it just feels like a special moment. And it also just feels like fleeting and it's super short. It really was a super short amount of time. And it is an event that I go to twice a year. So the next one's in May. It's right around my birthday in May. I'll be 25 next year. I don't even want to think about that yet, but I will be a homeowner by then. Yes, I will. Okay, 214. So now I'm going to take the pitcher off of the heat, turn the heating element off, and add in my fragrance. This is about as much fragrance that goes into this much wax, if you guys are curious. I don't know how much you can see from over there, but that's how much wax. Yeah. I love the sweet scents. They always make me a little bit hungry. I'm burning Honeysuckle Meadow right now, which is one of my favorite scents on my site, and it was part of the first collection of candles that I launched on my website, so it'll always hold a special place in my heart. I want to make sure that the wax is staying at above 196 degrees Fahrenheit while I'm mixing and incorporating in the fragrance. Looks like we got another air bubble on the mini guy, so. Alright guys, so now that these are nice and smooth on top, as you can see, I'm going to take the wick holder off, as well as trim the wicks. See how they're nice and smooth? Yeah, that's how you want it. All right, so I usually trim the wick about, I don't even know what a measurement would be, but I usually do like a fingernail length. So I guess that's a good rule of thumb, is like a fingernail length. Just like this. Because you don't want it too short, right? You don't want your candle wick to be too short, or it's gonna struggle to stay lit, it's gonna burn funky. Okay, and I do save these wicks because I use these wicks in the mini-sized candles. I'm just waiting right now on the little wick fasteners that you tamper on, or you clamp onto the bottom of these. I ran out of them, so I've just been using the full-size wicks, as you guys can see right here. These are 8-inch wicks. So actually, no, these are 6-inch wicks, but you can kind of see how much I would be throwing away if I was just wasteful. So I'm not wasteful. Okay. Also, they're the perfect size. You know, I'd still be cutting some off. So why would I throw them away? I'm not trying to be cheap or anything. I just, you know, I love my planet. I want to be able to reuse everything that I possibly can. This is my pumpkin iced coffee scent, so let me get my labels. All right, and then what I do is just dust off the candles, which is actually really important because the label won't stick right if you don't get all of the residue off of the jars and the excess wax and dust and all that. So that's what I do, just go in really good and kind of polish them up. And I use the top of the jar as kind of like a guideline, so it looks nice and even, just like that. These are waterproof labels, so if you guys were wondering about that, why they're shiny. I had to learn that the hard way because when I first started making these candles, I gave a lavender bliss candle, which was part of my first collection. I gave one to my friend, and we were at a pool party, and he grabbed it with his wet hands, and he looked at it, and the label started getting all soggy and like falling apart and falling off of the jar, and I was so embarrassed. So now I spend a little bit more money for these nice glossy weatherproof labels. The warning labels go on the bottom. I feel like I'm giving up my secrets, but I like to show you guys how I do this and, you know, kind of the method to my madness. So hopefully this is interesting to you guys. All right, so we're still waiting on these minis. Oh, here's another air bubble. See? See how stubborn some of these are? Sometimes I have to go back like 15, 20 times just to get rid of these little air bubbles that pop up at the last minute. I mean, I never knew labels could be so expensive, but I've been spending tons of money on these labels, but it's totally worth it. So these are what the finished candles look like now, guys. So these are gonna go in my inventory, and yeah, this is pumpkin iced coffee. Love the way these smell so much. I have been daydreaming a lot about this house that I want to move into and purchase. Like, I'm gonna make one of the bedrooms into a candle shop, just like a candle factory. So I can keep all of this into one room and just focus on candles when I walk into that room, because having it all in my apartment and just scattered, it's not the most efficient way, but I still get a lot done. So I just have to work with what I have, but I'm really looking forward to moving into a house with more space where I can have a dedicated room to working on my candles. I know one day I'll look back at these videos and I'll be like, I remember that. Look at how far I've come. Look at how far I've come. I was so determined, you know? So that's why I make these videos. And that's not just for candle making, that's for like my character, how far I've come. Like, the things that used to excite me don't excite me anymore. The people that I used to hang out with, I don't hang out with anymore. The dreams that I've had, I've accomplished them and created new dreams for myself that I want to accomplish. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, hello to all of my new subscribers. Hello, hello. I hope you enjoy my content. Definitely feel free to leave me any suggestions of content that you'd like to see in the future. Always use suggestions. I mean, I can only be so creative. So, here we go, here we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna start with this one right here. These are 4-ounce candles, just in case you guys are curious. Now I like to polish these again, of course, because I want to get all the dust off of them, all the fingerprints, any kind of residue or oils that are left on the glass jars or caps. Polish it up nice and good. And when I say seam, it's just the little glass. You can't probably even see it, but it's a little seam right there, just kind of divides the glass. So I use that as a guideline for the labels. And then I'll put the standard label on first, which they look like this. Another weatherproof label. I wanted to clear this up real quick, guys. So on my labels, you can see right here it says 3-ounce candle. Now the only reason I write that on the labels is because you're getting 3 ounces of wax in each 4-ounce candle jar. So I'm not filling up the wax all the way to the brim. So if I said, here's a 4-ounce candle, that would not be truthful. It's really a 3-ounce candle in a 4-ounce jar, because I need to keep room for the wick and everything. So I wanted to clear that up. I know some of you are probably confused about that. Yeah guys, so like right here, it says 7-ounce candles on here. These are 8-ounce jars, but you're getting a 7 ounces of wax because I can't pour it all the way to the brim. So yes, I hope that's not too confusing. Okay, the stubborn one finally dried and there's no imperfections. Yay, thank you. So trim the wick on that. Okay, polish it up. Looks like our wax is still at 160, so still waiting for that to cool down a little bit. Also, if you hear little noises, Lucky's right there, so he's super tired from our walk this morning. The mini candles have different labels than the large candles, and some of them I changed up the logos on them, but on pumpkin iced coffee, you can see I used the same pumpkin as the logo. So I just wanted to change it up on some of them, that's all. There's no specific rhyme or reason to it. Gotta line up the label, and there we go. I'm so happy that I found this perfect measurement of wax, because it's gonna make things so much more streamlined for me. Okay, this one, as you can see, sometimes they have stuff in them, so I'm gonna set this aside. Also, being a business owner that's actually doing pretty well and getting business, I'm starting to realize, like, I'm gonna have to get Amazon deliveries multiple times a week. And that's not something I was really prepared for, but now I know that if I want things to keep going in a streamlined fashion, then I need to constantly be ordering and restocking on supplies. So for example, today I'm getting a shipment from Amazon, and then tomorrow I'm getting another large shipment from Amazon. And then next week I'm getting a shipment of fragrance oils. So it's just nonstop, but I'm thankful. so thankful. So thankful and appreciative and just super grateful to be where I am, because it's not easy to do this and it's not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. But I feel proud that people enjoy my videos and the products that I create, aka my artwork, my candles. Still working on the wax melts, guys, so stay tuned for that. Just try to remember I'm a one-man team, so I try to get everything done in a timely manner. Sometimes things just take a little bit longer. Welcome to the candle shop. Give you a sniff of what I got. Welcome to my candle shop. I'll let you lick the lollipop. Okay. Let you lick my lollipop. Does anybody know that song? I remember when that song came out and it was on MTV, Videos in the AM. Videos in the Morning, whatever it used to be called, when they would play those. I used to watch those music videos every morning before school. My sister did as well. Like, she would turn her TV on, I'd turn my TV on. Because at one point in time, we were going to school at the same time, but she's a good bit older than me, so that didn't last very long. So I gotta do this nice and slowly. I've gotten so good at this though, so I don't pour nearly as slow as I once did, because I just feel a lot more confident. You guys, look how perfect. How perfect is that measuring? Like, and that's it. So it's not like I have any excess or not enough to go around. All right, so now I'm gonna set these down in my shelf and then let them kind of solidify and cure. And then I just start the process over again. That's how I do it, guys. That's how I do it. They usually take about 3 hours to fully solidify, but then I have to go in and flatten out the tops, smooth out the tops. So it's all a process, but it's totally worth it. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Also, let me know if you'd like to see anything else involving the candle creation process. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.